Join the feet. No, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. You're all good. We're in your house. Oh, we live. Okay, so what's going on, guys? It's Throw It Out There Thursday. We've got a cool show today, I guess. Throw out your questions, and we'll answer them. We're also going to be giving away a couple T-shirts to the best questions out there, excluding yours, Dominic. Thank you. But anyways, we're just going to be going around the shop, kind of seeing what's going on here, and ask away on your questions. But in order to do that, got to go to Justin Smith.
I was wondering why this side of your face is not moving. Is there a reason that we should all know? Can you feel what I'm doing?
I literally can't feel
anything. Can I have it right there? Good? No? Okay,
I had, go ahead, try it. I had some teeth work done today, so I'm a little
Someone's
numb.
drooling out of the corner of his mouth today. I think it's kind of fun. We should poke more at you. That's for sure.
Fine.
Thanks for the introduction. Appreciate it.
You can poke it all you want, Justin.
So Throw It Out There Thursday. Apologize, we haven't really done these very much lately. We've been super busy, so we're trying to get back into it. Want to make sure you guys can ask questions that you may not be able to get done really easy by calling the shop, or if it's not even related to UTVs, ask away. We'll have Steve give you like Dear Abby opinions about how life works, or how.
Dear Abby?
You have never really. Is that dating me too?
Yeah, you're old.
He knows. Trust me, he knows exactly. I'm not even gonna. You guys Google it. You'll figure it out. You can ask all kinds of questions, Steve, like sexual stuff. And
was that like Ask Jeeves?
Yeah, it's like Jeeves, but it was a real person at one point in time.
Oh,
is what it was. So you get opinions on all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Same as what we do.
It's cool.
It's like election, but you had to write into it.
Yeah, luckily like that. But anyway, so you guys serve it up. Type in something for a question. We'll get to it. Maybe even have you go on live if you want. We'll get to all of it. But some of the stuff, while Josh is walking backwards into the shop, we'll take a look at some of the other cars that we've got in today. Everybody usually has kind of questions when they see their kind of model, right? But one thing that we wanted to touch base about with you guys is appointments for Glamis. We are going to have the full crew like we normally do in the semi in Glamis for what's the upcoming trip would be Thanksgiving. We have a couple openings left. Not normally does this occur. So we had some people cancel. We've got some spots. If you guys want to get anything done for the Thanksgiving trip, I think, Steve, what are the dates that we're actually working? I know we've got set up and leave, but when are we actually there?
23rd. Let me pull up my calendario. So we are working. We leave the 28th? No, 22nd. We got the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. We have the 25th and the 26th open right now.
Okay.
Some stuff
available. Yeah. So that, like I said, normally doesn't happen. You jump on it, give the shop a call right away, get your appointments booked, and we'll knock everything out for you. So you can come in, stock, and you can leave with everything, and you know exactly what it does for you. It's always good for us when customers see the difference right away. We love that kind of stuff. You had something else about appointments you had brought up earlier that we needed to touch base on, right? Well, I mean, obviously we've got New Year's in the dunes.
New
You
Year's
guys,
in the dunes.
if you are going for New Year's, then get on the schedule right away. Let's do that. While we're sitting here bugging Remington, if you want to take a look at Remington, what are you doing? Got a mic for Remington?
Oh.
There's a mic for you.
His voice is deep enough.
Oh, hello.
Can you guys believe the voice on this kid? I think he should be singing like Marvin Gaye song or the announcer for the beginning of a movie.
Can you sing something real quick for us? Just a little taste?
No?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Come
All
on.
right. We're completely embarrassing you. I apologize.
Okay.
But what are you designing right now?
It's the limit strip for the radiator hoses, a guard for the limit straps. Oh, sorry, my bad.
It's finalizing our rear limit strap kit with a guard for the coolant hoses, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Take a look at some of the 3D stuff, you guys. This is kind of on a daily basis. Remington has knocked this out of the park for us. Lots of products every single day that we're doing. Bunch of new stuff coming, and on all kinds of new models. But that's his gig, and he kills it. Remington, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Also,
thanks for getting me out of here as fast as possible.
Also, Justin, a lot of people, if they want to get in before Glamis, we have a couple openings within the next couple weeks to be able to get in.
Awesome.
So if you guys want to get your car done before you go out to the dunes, give us a call. What's the number?
I'll give the wrong number out every single time.
623-217-4959.
There we go. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Let's walk around. What do you got behind you? Pro XP, XP Pro. Which one is it?
Pro XP.
Pro XP. So Pro XP in for shock work, springs, some other stuff that's on this too. I think we got tie rods going on this one as well. Looks like a brand new one, kind of cool. If you guys have a shout out to any of your buddies that have been in here, let us know. You got any questions yet, Mitch?
There's a couple. Let's see.
Go for it.
Cody wants to know, did BSD tie rod kit on my X3, what should I set toe to for least steering wheel feedback? I have hand controls and steer one-handed, so wheel feedback is a big deal, especially with racing.
Ooh, well, we always recommend X3 toe set. It was X3, right?
Yes.
Then
X3.
at ride height, we recommend a 1/4 inch toed in. Since you've done the BSD, you want to make sure that you've cycled the car before and after so you can make adjustments. So set it to 1/4 inch toed in or 0, whatever, at ride height, then jack it up and measure it again. Check what has changed. Let's see if it's toed in too much or toed out. That'll tell you which direction to go on your BSD adjustments. Give the shop a call. We'll walk you through it if you haven't already done that. But at ride height, once you're done checking all this, you want a 1/4 inch toed in. Since you're one-handed in racing, my guess is you're going to want a power steering unit on that thing. So e-power steering makes an 800 watt kit that's adjustable. That's what we race. I'd recommend that. And if you haven't already done our billet rack and pinion, then that would be the next logical step, because you get all the play out of the factory rack, which turns into feedback in the wheel, and you're not going to be able to race with one hand if you're dealing with the feedback that a stock rack can give. So consider a billet rack later on after you've done all that stuff. One thing at a time. That way you can see the advantages as they have. Dom, what do you got for question?
Well, this one's for Mitch. Mitch, Todd Brown says, you dialed me in Halloween weekend, man. You guys are second to none. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mitch.
Other than the question,
Oh, I was like, oh, there's a butt there.
There's a question.
Okay.
so Justin says, you've driven the Mav R. You have a Pro R preference.
I figured I was going to get this. I've already got this question a bunch. Which one would I prefer? I like them both for different things. I feel like the Pro R rides better when it comes to bigger stuff. I think that the Mav R works better when it comes to short and technical stuff. So if the terrain is 1 foot tall whoops and smaller, and it's tight and nimble stuff, whether it's rutted or bermed, things you can really lay into speed-wise when you're turning, that kind of terrain, then I would say Mav R is the fastest, better performing vehicle. When you get to 2 foot whoops and bigger, and maybe longer straightaways floored and less turning, then I think that the Pro R is the better performing one of the two. Which one's faster in a race? Again, if it's a tight, nimble race, I think the Mav R is faster. If it's a Mexico race, floored long whoop sections that are really big, then I think the Pro R wins. So there's goods and bads on both. I will tell you, I really love the trans on the Mav R. It's nice not having to worry about a belt. Even though the Pro R is pretty much a fixed previous belt histories of any other vehicle, and we've never really had a problem on our Pro Rs when it comes to belts at all. I love the trans on that other one. It's pretty awesome. Some electronic settings are pretty awesome too, when switching through settings and engine settings, pretty cool. Anything? What else you got, Dom?
Next question, Matt Ratliff. Thoughts on the Segway Super Villain?
I think it's really cool. Someone has really sent it when it comes to horsepower, and
It's a
someone's
hybrid too, right?
finally done the hybrid stuff. I mean, it's coming. We're never going to get away from it. You might as well embrace what's coming. But from what I've seen, I think it's a 3,300 pound car, right? 3,200 pound car. Yeah, something like that. All right, 3,200 pounds, 300 plus horsepower. If you do the math compared to an 1,800 pound X3 at 195 horsepower, I think that the previous X3s are faster from a power to weight standpoint than 300 horsepower on 3,300 pounds. So I don't think it's going to show up and set any giant land speed records because of the weight. Extra weight also means it's not going to be that nimble. So I have some concerns about its usability in reality in dirt and or sand or whatever you're doing. But maybe in more comfortable, slower settings, the power to weight isn't that big of a deal. And running electric, maybe in a wildlife preserve area that's slow trail, might be nice to be quiet. Who knows? I think it's great someone's done it. I love that they're really pushing the limits there, and I'd like to see more from everybody else. I have heard rumors that the other OEs are deep into it too, so let's see what happens. Mitch.
Segway is actually watching, and they said 2,700 pounds on the turbo only.
On the turbo only. So I stand corrected. You guys apologize. So 2,700 pounds on the turbo only, straight from Segway. Again, I really love that they're doing it. And the cool thing is that they did it first. So you guys got to really give them a lot of credit for that. And we'll get in one and give you an opinion. I bet you it's going to be fun. The other one was too. So love what they're doing. Cool to be first. Steve.
Yeah.
What do you got for a question? I know you got a question. You were going to ask Dom something. I don't even know.
Yeah, Dom.
Why are you talking like a pirate?
I got a microphone right here, dude.
Double you up.
I'm mic'd up, son.
You're talking sideways.
I don't know. My face is feeling weird right now. I feel uncomfortable. Dom, what are you doing this weekend?
We have an event with a couple companies out in Wickenburg. We're going to be giving them a tour with riding.
Well, let me say it. It's Apex Heli Services, MD Helicopters. A bunch of helicopter stuff's going to be in Wickenburg, but they're combining a fly-in with UTVs. So we're going to be there helping a little bit of trail riding with these guys. And who knows? Helicopter guys are usually pretty fun too, just like UTV guys. But we'll be up there doing a lot. And Mitch, I think that Ernie is out testing Mav R in the dunes.
Yep.
This current, like right now, he's out there right now, and throughout the rest of the weekend, putting the final touches on our tune for the Mav R. So you guys, if this weekend goes really good, we pretty much know where it's going to go. It's going to be done. And if that's the case, then we're only a few weeks away from custom springs that we had made for that being in, which means a week or two you're going to have spring kits, shock internals, and all of our products available for that thing. So be ready. We'll market that and let you know.
The infamous 2 weeks.
Well, it's always 2 weeks, but this time I think you're pretty close.
We're on track.
I've got all three of these guys yelling at me to make sure that it's 2 weeks, which is better than normal. Speaking of Mav R, Tuesday, Tech Tuesday. Okay, we're gonna go full tilt right into the Mav R, give you guys kind of a full review after we've had so much time in it. We have a lot of miles on that car right now. I mean, Dom by himself put 350 miles on that car the last trip to the dunes. Just a dune trip at 350. That's a lot of miles if you guys don't normally go to the dunes and track your mileage. It's a lot. So we all kind of have a lot of time in it. We can give you a bunch of opinions. So tune in for that on Tuesday. Question, Mitch, send it.
Can we get Steve to chug a beer right now? I'd paid a lot of money to watch him drool all over himself.
I'm in.
All right. Can somebody facilitate? We do have a fridge in here, right? All right. That's going to be Dom. Dom will take care of it. There you go.
Make yourself useful.
Thanks.
Great question. I like that one. More of those, gentlemen, please. Let's go over to this car over here. So, Pro R XTC stock class car that we're doing some shock work to kind of dial in. It's Chris's daughter, right? I think is driving this car. Is that right?
That is actually Chris's car.
I think that's Chris's.
Is it Chris's car?
That's
Okay.
Chris's car.
Cool. Excellent. So getting a little bit of work done here and there, kind of dial it in for racing. You never know what's in here. Could be race cars, could be play cars, could be a combination of both. Who the hell knows? Oh, that's definitely special. So hold on, you guys. So a little bit on the more flamboyant side of a beer, should I say? But Steve, let's see how the drooling goes.
Do I got to punch out for this?
It's lunchtime. You're punched out, bro.
I'm shotgunning here, right?
Yes, you are. So shoot a beer. He's actually going full tilt.
Clean up aisle 5.
I should just blow it out on Dom. All right,
Steve. 3, 2, 1.
Cheers to
do
you
it.
guys.
All right. You missed.
That's all I got.
Thanks, man. Good try. I'm sure HR is going to call and compliance is going to yell at me for that one, but
Go home.
Hey, whatever. We're here for you guys. Good question. Mitch, you got another one?
This is actually a good one. I haven't seen this one yet. What's the coolest thing you've ever seen someone do with stock leftover springs?
Oh, I've seen some really cool bar stools. The guys use that for bar stool suspension. I've seen coil spring guys for like yard art. I've seen a couple guys build them. They're shaken with kind of like a little tiny spring for their head and all kinds of other parts moving around.
Tables.
You've seen, yeah. Actually, we've got a table up in front that's a coil spring table. What else have you guys seen? I've seen full dumpsters of stock springs that could be considered art, maybe. Lots of those.
Office
A what?
chair. Office chair.
Office chair springs?
Lean back is one.
We did.
Yeah.
We did
yeah.
shoes out of them one time. Remember?
Oh, that's right. You were walking
I
around
walked
trying to
with
get
them
some
on shoes,
suspension
yeah.
going on your shoes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Spring shoes. Yeah.
Awesome. Dom, you got any other good questions? What were some of the other subjects that you wanted to talk about?
Well, we're all curious when Steve actually wears shorter socks and pants.
Does that ever happen, Steve?
Ever?
No?
So I own like 3 pairs of pants, and I wear them like one time a year.
Like to a wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To your I have shorts. Remember?
Yeah. Oh,
To
you
your
got shorts
birthday,
to the
I wear
yeah,
shorts. Yeah. I don't
shorts
have
to
I don't
weddings
own slacks.
typically.
Yeah, I wear shorts to weddings.
Are they jorts?
No, they're hemmed by my by my tailor.
Steve, inquiring minds wanted to know. I was just reading something right here. Do you actually wear tube socks during sexy time?
I just wear one sock.
Okay.
Well, the real OG
can't-
tube sock said that one sock ain't shit.
Let's see. What else was on the list, Mitch? We were talking about stuff earlier today at lunch we wanted to touch base on.
Yeah, there's a ton of good questions.
Oh, well, let's hit those. That's what this is for.
So Boost2311 wants to know, can you show on the X3 two-seat where you guys measure ride height from?
Sure.
Perfect.
Let's look at this one
One
right
right
here.
here.
Mitch, take over. Take it.
So in the rear, now important, driver is always in the car. So
Yep.
driver, passenger, whatever you're
And
with.
settle it.
Settled.
Drive it around.
Settled. Yep. So let it coast to a stop. Don't hit the brakes. But basically the lowest part of the frame. We always go to the frame, not the skid plate. Always the frame.
Because skid plates change.
Yep. So that is always going to be the same measurement point. Depending on tire size, your ride height obviously differs between that. But from there, people in the car, it's usually a 2-3 person job. Stay in the car while you measure it.
And how about the front?
The front, you are going to be going to the bottom of this tube right here. So kind of the easiest spot to get to on the front of these cars to get your measurement there. But again, same kind of way to do it. Coast to a stop, people in the car, have somebody measure it for you while you stay in there. On a stock tire, we're about 16 inches in the front, 15 and a half in the rear. That will change with tire size, so kind of keep that in mind too, but hopefully that helps.
What other questions you got, Mitch? You said you had a few that were pretty good.
There is. Have any of us driven a speed car yet?
No, yes, they do exist. None of us have driven one yet. I need to kind of beat up Robbie about getting one.
We actually saw quite a few in the dunes the Halloween weekend.
Yeah,
Unless it was the same one, but that I saw at least 3 or 4.
Our dune groups kind of collided with a couple of guys
Did
we were
you?
duning
Yeah.
with for a while. Looked like fun, so
They look pretty cool.
I'm sure we'll get a hold of it here pretty quick. We did have a customer ask about his particular one 2 weeks ago, and so we're going to get to it. Haven't done it yet.
I think I talked to 2 or 3 guys that had them that were curious about what we were doing or if we had anything for them yet. But
Yep.
They look cool.
Yep.
Another good question. Peyton wants to know, what MPGs are you seeing with the Maverick R?
I don't think the dunes count.
Yeah, it's
You
gonna be a tough one.
You can't do that. I mean, we were getting 80 to 100 mile. No, we were getting 90 to 110 miles per tank before the light came on when we were doing testing, and I think they're 12-gallon tanks. So that means that the mileage might be a hair worse than a previous X3, but they've got more fuel in it to make up for it, so the range is actually longer.
And I'm sure, I think the Sport Mode, Sport Plus,
Make a huge difference because
difference.
it's like cruising versus, snarly Spitfire horsepower kind of thing. So big difference there. Mode.
Manny said, it's almost winter here in Montana. Does the cold weather affect the suspension enough to make adjustments?
It does not affect it enough for us to change an adjustment. What it does is it takes longer for the shock to warm up than it does here. So you might take 15 minutes or 20 minutes of driving before the shock gets a little warm to get where it's happy, versus that might happen within 5 minutes here. That's the only difference between it, but we wouldn't change it overall. Usually the shock oil is going to get over 100 degrees pretty quick, and that's where they start to work. Doesn't matter whether it's 30 below or 130, still going to get there. Steve.
Justin, I got a mic.
Oh, okay.
Mic'd up,
Just can't
bro.
hear you out that other side of the mouth, man. Sorry.
Okay. Where are we at on our trail spec for back east?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So trail spec is really moving along. We've got a ton of models that we've already done all of that to. Let me describe. So trail spec, you guys, trail spec is exactly what it sounds like. It's tune and valving and spring for specifically trail riding. Slower speeds, less than 30 miles an hour, a lot of sharp lips and ledges, narrow trail, maybe tree or bushes, shale rock, that kind of stuff that's heavily done on the East Coast. So we've taken what we normally do and we've gone way plush for that slower speed stuff, and we're really getting a lot of great feedback from everybody on the East Coast. We've got a couple of guys that go like weekly out and play. We've got a couple of our vehicles that are out there. We've got KRX, we've got X3, we've got, what else did I send out there? Commander, we've got Honda done, we've got XP and XP Turbo trail specs done. So the majority of stuff that's out there, we're getting there. So, and even more models on the way, right? Pro XP. Austin and Megan are taking our vehicles pretty much every single weekend and running testing and going out there with everybody in those areas, trailing with everybody else, trying to back it up and change performance as they go. So trail spec's kicking ass. If you guys are on that end of the country, then let us know what you're doing, and if it's trail spec worthy, then that's what we're going to put in there to make it the best ride for you. What else we got over here? We have
Showa.
Brand new X3 2024 equipped with Showa shocks. If you guys haven't seen these yet, then take a look. There's obviously some, you might be able to see the fronts a little bit better, but some of the base models for 2024 on the X3 come with a Showa, and we are in the middle of finishing all of our valving and internal tunes, which Mitch has been knee deep in and knocking out. It's getting really, really nice. Way plusher than the factory setup is, and still no bottoming. So been pretty impressed so far. Already have dual rate spring kits. Shock internals, just so you know, are specific to the Showa, so not anyone is gonna have this stuff on the shelf. We do. Mitch has already got everything. So tune's ready for this here pretty quick. Mitch, you wanna describe where you've been with that?
It's a pretty cool car. Pretty impressive what it was to start with, but some new territory with what's inside of it. So I'm kind of excited for that. Learn some more stuff, and pretty impressed with where it's at right now. So excited to have some cool stuff for it.
So if you guys have a 24 with Showas, and let us know. We've got stuff ready to go. It's not advertised yet, but it'll probably be on the site in the next week. Actually, infamous 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It'll be on the site, I hope. What else you got, Mitch? Questions?
Do you guys charge extra for dirty cars coming into the shop?
We should.
He said, if not, you should. I agree.
We don't, but we've been talking about it, and it's more of a piece by piece basis, right? Because if it's a little dirty, we're not gonna bitch. But if it's a ton, then we have a discussion. Or maybe you're just forced to buy a little bit more from us.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Steve, that's basically your conversation.
That's all it is, yeah.
Or when Steve can't talk out of one side of your mouth, that's when you bring in the dirty car. You probably slip it right through because you can't hear him say that it's more money for the dirty one at that time. Mitch, more questions?
Are there any Walker replacement options for a 22 Turbo R? Turbo R. They, I believe, are working on that. There is some for the Pro R, but I believe the Turbo R is coming too. Yeah, they are finishing some testing on the
in
Pro R.
Pro R, we have what would be a dual valve Fox that's got mechanical adjusters on it. Pretty bitchin', right? We really haven't promoted that. We need to start telling everybody about that. So actually, turn around, Mitch can tell you. But we have a bitchin' shock option for you guys with a Pro R and Walkers You can get rid of those, and you can step it to the next level with these. What are they?
Yeah, so basically just an internal bypass that is a DSC. That is a new DSC.
What's DSC for those who don't know?
Dual speed compression. So in the past, they've had a 17 millimeter socket and a flathead screwdriver. This new one is now all controlled by your awesome fingers.
Oh,
No tools required, none of that. Pretty sweet. It's a cool new design that they have on that. It's also an external rebound adjuster as well, so you still have high speed, low speed, and rebound to play with, which is awesome. And all the goodies that come with an internal bypass shock.
and
So,
same dimension diameter as all the Dynamics live valve shock. It's basically the same thing. It's just manual adjustment.
yeah, so 3.0 front, 3.0 rear, internal bypass, pretty cool. So
You remember how much is it going for right now?
I don't.
I think they're not that cheap because it's a big bypass with a lot of adjusters.
I mean, if I were to guess, and don't take this for what it is, but probably $5 to $6 grand, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, but worth it if you've got walkers on there. If you found the limit of where those are going to go, then you can step up to the big diameter stuff and really adjustable.
Yeah.
They work really good. Having driven that, I can vouch for it. Careful. What else we got? We got piles of shocks that are coming in, right, Dom? And these shocks are for what vehicles?
We have Defenders
Defender.
coming. We have Rangers coming. We have XP1000s in stock.
We have
Pro XP.
Pro
we have
XPs
Turbo
in
S.
stock. We have Turbo S.
C2s,
RC2s in stock. RC2, RC,
C2.
C2, no R.
And we have Pioneer
Oh, Pioneer
Honda
700s,
Pioneers
1000s.
shortly.
Yeah, they should be here.
Any day.
hopefully- Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of
Might
shocks.
be 2 weeks.
Actually, so to answer your question, Steve, you said sounds like a lot of
Sounds
shocks.
like a lot of shocks.
I'll tell you, because I've seen the bills, it's over $2 million worth of shocks that are actually going to be in stock in the next week-ish. Majority of them are already here. And you might ask, well, why do we have $2 or $3 million worth of shocks all of
Yeah,
a sudden?
Justin, why do we?
Well, I would love to tell you, but since we really don't talk about possible sales in the future, I think I really can't tell you exactly what we're up to. But it would seem weird, wouldn't it, to have a whole lot of shocks like that
Sure
stack
would.
up somewhere in the middle of November with the holidays coming?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know why we would ever do that. Who knows? Might be some deals in the future because Santa's coming to town. Yeah. Okay. What else were we talking about, Mitch?
Let's see here. MSC Cruises the best?
Yeah.
Okay. It's asked, Can-Am sway bar broke, 72-inch model. Do you guys replace for free?
Absolutely.
If it's our bar, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
100%.
Okay, so yeah, we're not replacing stock parts.
Justin just full tilt like, yeah.
Send it. Stock bar, we got you. No. If it's our bar, yes, it's covered.
Jay Hups also said, thank you, Steve, for getting race shocks in and dialed.
Ooh,
You got it, Jay.
right on. Don, what do you
Steve,
got?
question for you. AJ Edwards, if I purchase a spring kit and add or remove weight from the car, is there an exchange program for a spring?
So that's a.
I'll answer that.
So we have
the
use for
answer-
you, so
the
yes and no.
answer is no.
Yeah, no. So
But usually when you add or subtract some weight to the car, it's not a big giant 1,000-pound swing, which means we can probably do what you're asking, just 2 springs. So your $900 spring kit, it might only cost you a couple $100 to get the upgrade to the weight you want. But we don't ever take any springs back. We can't use them for anything else. So, but it's very inexpensive to keep up with your accessories as you grow with the car and weight. That answer that? Steve?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with
Plus, if you're super cool when you ask for springs, Steve will send you a shirt and he might even autograph it.
it. No.
But you have to be cool, and what is cool, that's up to Steve. It's a very personal opinion-based thing on whether you're cool with Steve or not. Mitch, what do you got?
Let's see here. Sorry. How would the trail spec do with occasional higher speed running?
I'm sorry, trail spec what?
Trail spec at higher speed running. So maybe not so much just
It's
strictly
probably not
trail.
going to be the best for you if you're hauling ass. We purposely tell everybody if we're doing trail spec that this is recommended for 30 miles an hour and less. So if you're going to run the thing at 50 through G outs, it's probably going to bottom out. You either need to tailor your driving style because you've got trail spec. Knowing that we've tuned it for the slower speeds and rougher stuff. There's really no way to get both. Our normal setup will do both if you drive hard, but you're sacrificing super plush. We won't be able to get it that plush. You do trail spec, we're going plush, so that means we're going to sacrifice some of the stuff where you need it super stiff. So just tailor your driving. And we talk you right through all that. We'll let you know where it's going to be a problem, if it is. Depends on how you drive. Mitch, what else you got?
How you drive.
It is
For
about
sure.
how you drive.
Steve-O wants to know what's included in a rebuild for an OG Maverick Turbo. I currently have your RIS Gold package.
All seals, all oil.
And of course, labor and any other.
So labor's included in that. Any parts that would be in addition to that would be on top of that, but seals and oil, fresh seals, fresh oil.
You also get updates too.
You do get updates.
Ooh, that's a biggie. You get free updates if we've done anything to that vehicle. You're going to get it from us. Also, I will add, the oil that we use is a proprietary blend, which is super high quality and expensive, unlike the standard oil that comes in shocks. Certainly unlike the standard oil that comes in like a Walker or something like that. It's night and day. I mean, we're talking like $75, $80 a gallon. So the oil quality is super high. The seal quality is super high. Standard seals that you get in OEM stuff is more of a rubber style seal than anything else. Race cars are a Delrin seal or a Viton seal for race cars. Our seal kits that we use for rebuilds are a combination of Delrin and a middle grade nylon, which is way better than the OEs and just a hair down from race stuff, depending on the seal. So our rebuild kit components are pretty high level as well as the oil. So you're getting the best all the way around. Dom.
There's a Mr. Johnson asking about a Turbo S and sway bars. Are we going to have them? And the answer is yes, we are.
Well, on Turbo S, we already have them.
They're on order. They're coming.
Oh, they're just out of stock
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah.
Okay,
They're
I
coming.
got you. I'm like,
Brand new bar, brand new everything.
what did you do that's brand new, Mitch?
Just different design for that car because the current bar that we have don't fit that one, so it's a whole new redesign for that frame, that chassis. 2-seat to 4-seat was different, so
Right.
still have adjustment holes, still have everything. You can fine tune it that way, but yeah, brand new bar. Ready to
What's
go.
the timing on that, Mitch? Let me guess. 2 weeks?
No. Last I heard, it was supposed to be end of October, so they should be here anytime.
That would be about 2 weeks.
Well, they should be here now. but yes, hopefully soon.
2 weeks in the other direction.
Yeah, wrong direction. 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Dom, what do you got?
Another question is, we know you raced the Can-Am X3. Are you going to race the Mav R?
No, so I might in the future, but I'll tell you what we have already done. Before the Mav R was released, we have already made a manufacturer change in our racing program from X3 to Polaris Pro R. So we've got a pre-runner already built and done. We've got a race car that's halfway done. Our goal is to race next year with the Pro R. But having driven the Mav R, it's pretty sporty, and I think it's going to give the Pro R a run at certain races. So we might actually race both. Who knows? It's not out of the realm of us to race multiple manufacturers in the same race. We've done it before because we like testing all that stuff. I'll tell you this, the Mav R is definitely going to be one of our pre-runners. So from a longevity standpoint and component standpoint, we'll be doing testing all year on our pre-runner, and we might race it. But right now, our plan is Polaris Pro R as a mainstay and Maverick R here and there. Mitch.
Good question. If I purchase a side-by-side with your RIS on it, would I still get the updates if you rebuild the shocks?
Yes, you do. We do not hold anyone. We don't play favorites. You've got our sticker on the shock, then we're going to back that up as long as it's got our sticker on the shock. That is another thing, another question I can answer, is why do we require that the sticker remain on the shock? For lots of reasons. Number one, you can't buy the sticker from us separate from getting the work done. So there are only the same amount of stickers available as there have been shock work done. So people can't buy the sticker, stick it on a non-done, a non-worked shock and sell the car for more money, which we've seen people do. That's why we kind of knock that down. So as long as that shock's got our sticker on it, we're going to back everything up that's on the inside, no matter who has it. So welcome to the family with your new Shocked Every Shocks. Dom.
So we got a question from a Jason Crocker, and he has our dual rate spring kit. He didn't say what car, and he's seen heavy body wear. If he sends them in for rebuild, is there anything we can do with that?
So that is looked at on an individual basis, but in general, I will tell you that body wear is not a warrantyable thing. The reason is that body wear exists on every shock at every time, in every place, no matter what. You have a shock spring divider that's sliding along. Aluminum body typically is the one that shows wear, and no matter what, you get sand in there, it's going to be it's a sandpaper grinder. You're going to get body wear. Factory springs have body wear. King shocks, complete aftermarket shock, has body wear. Fox shocks, completely aftermarket with aluminum bodies, have body wear with factory components. There's no difference. Now, some of the Walker stuff has had very wide clearance spring dividers, factory. A lot of play in that divider, and that's why when we do a spring kit for those, we supply tighter clearance spring dividers that we actually make or have made for us out of our own mold. So be careful. Some people are selling spring dividers that are super tight and have no clearance to them, really. That's a problem also, because you start getting dirt and mud in there, it'll bind. That divider with very little clearance will get stuck on the shock body. It's going to ride like crap. It's going to accelerate wear on the divider usually first. So there's a happy medium between too much play and too tight. You have to get it just right. We've got a lot of science and designed into the diameters that we use. Obviously with Fox and Dyno Time and OE testing, we know about what that needs to be. So to answer his question, we would take a look at it and see if you've got old dividers that are not the newer style, then that's something we would upgrade you to. If the shock body is minorly damaged, then we would definitely be running it. If it's overly damaged, we talk to you about bodies. We do have body upgrades too, steel bodies versus aluminum, so there's lots of options. Kind of a big gray area there, but shock body wear is standard issue on stuff. If somebody says that shock bodies do not wear, or it's possible to sell a spring kit with a divider that will give you zero body wear, they are lying to you, 100%. Let's go look back in parts again. That way the guys over here can actually get some work done, right?
Got another question for you, Justin.
What do you got there, Dom?
Well, we went up. Jerry has a 21 or a 20 RS1. Would it be beneficial to get the actual weight of the car before he orders our spring kit?
We actually know what all that stuff is in advance, having done millions of spring kits. What we would like to see typically is a list of accessories that you've added to that thing so that we can do the math for you and get it nailed. If you want to send in anything, pictures of what you've got, list of accessories would be just fine. If you have scales, we'll take the information. Absolutely. Send it in. We'll take that and combine it with what we already know. So more information is better, right? But you definitely don't have to go scaling. We pretty much know where that stuff's at. Mitch, you look like you got something on your mind.
Are we going to be doing RIS upgrades in Glamis for New Year's?
You can answer
Yes. Yes, we are. I believe we're scheduling for New Year's as well, right, Steve?
Yes, sir.
So, yes, doing all that for Thanksgiving, New Year's, and President's Day. So if anybody's interested about President's Day, we're doing all that as well.
I love celebrating presidents, you know?
What else you got there, Dom?
Randy
As Josh looks around at all these awesome parts in stock, so maybe something to consider when you're thinking about Christmas presents.
Gosh,
for
we have
all
so much in stock,
those
Justin.
that you love. Why, Steve, do you think that we have so much in stock these days?
I don't know.
Why would somebody spend all that money? I have no idea.
Justin, maybe we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Who knows? It's
I don't
always
know.
2 weeks, man.
2 weeks.
What's in 2 weeks, Steve? I don't know, but
We'll be in the dunes, I know that.
Yeah. Oh, there's right. There's a dune trip. There's also some holiday stuff. Yeah. Who knows? Lots in stock for Christmas.
Good old 2 weeks.
Yeah. What do you got, John?
Randy Rodriguez is asking, did y'all receive my burnt steering rack? I guess it was car lit on fire.
Oh.
But the rack survives.
Well, I heard there was one that came in with a melted end cap on it. That might have been it. And I don't know how that went, but I did hear about it a couple of days ago. So the answer would be yes, we got it. I'll check into that and see where it went.
Lauren, did you do that one? The burnt
Nope.
one? Oh, okay.
Nope. Okay.
Everyone, that's Lauren.
She's handling all the stuff over in the vacuum packing area and some rack rebuilds and stuff. So she might have her initials on the rack when you guys get it. What else you guys got? All right, let's go this way. Let's change it up.
I think. Did we get any good questions? Because we got to give away a couple shirts. I said we were gonna give away some shirts.
Oh, that's
Are
right.
you guys keeping track of the good questions?
Keeping track of good questions.
Oh, there we go.
I think, whoever had the question about Sexy Time and Steve Shock should get a shirt for sure.
Sexy Time for sure, and then whoever made me drink.
Yeah, we will be on the.
Okay. What else you got, Mitch?
Mitch? Question? Okay, they're behind Justin. Justin, where is your favorite spot to camp in the dunes?
That's kind of interesting. My favorite spot changes all the time. I used to like it in Gordon's years ago because it was quieter, but I don't mind. I like Glamis now more just because the dunes are bigger and better dune rides than in Gordon's. In Glamis, I used to be a fan of Gecko, but now because we're working all the time in vendors, then I prefer the flats right outside of vendors. That way there's no traffic like you poor guys and wash 28 trying to get out 7 hours later. I'm definitely not going in the washes. It takes too long to get in and out and takes too long to get to the hill in my opinion, so I'm out. Flats for me. How about...
Customers asking, what are all these boxes?
Good question. Good question. So almost all the pallets you see on the racks are coil springs. You can see some of the sizes and rates that are on the boxes as we're looking at them. The springs that are in here are just what we keep in this building for immediate pull on shipping everything daily. This right here is about a 2 to 3 week inventory pull for us. We're constantly replacing and replenishing pallets that empty out with new ones from the other buildings. And in the other buildings where none of the work is actually getting done there, it's just warehousing. And in those buildings, we have in the neighborhood of 900 to 1,000 pallets of springs, which translates to about 850,000 to 1 million springs we have in stock. And that's constantly being updated and upgraded all the time. Why would we carry 1 million springs in stock in November, Steve?
Find out in 2 weeks, I guess.
Weird. I don't know what's happening, but...
Justin, another question
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
When you're in the dunes, are you a tennis shoe kind of gal or are you a UGG kind of gal?
I definitely play both ways.
Gal.
Both sides of the fence on that
I've seen
one.
him go both. I've seen him go both ways.
Yeah, no, these are horrible because the sand goes right through these guys, I'll tell you that. So I changed the shoe up to something that won't be so bad. But at night, you'll catch me in Uggs. Around the campfire and duning, yeah, why not? I'm not scared. Those things are comfortable as all hell. You got a problem with it? You're the only one with a problem.
Steve, any potential deals coming up for the Pro R dual rate spring and revalve setup?
Why would we ever give a deal on a
I don't know why I'd
specific
ever
setup?
I don't know why I'd ever give a deal on anything.
I don't think that anybody here typically ever does that. I mean, unless we have a ton of inventory and we're looking to get rid of stuff by the end of the month. Just, who knows?
Yeah.
Could happen.
I don't know. I think that was a bad question. No shirt for you.
Maybe a more appropriate question is, when do you ever get deals on any of our stuff? Well, I don't know. The answer is kind of never, unless you're a history buff. Then you might be able to look at things in the past. I don't know. Who knows? Google it. Mitch, what do you got?
Garrett wants to know, what shock adjustment should I make if the rear of my car is bucking?
Man, that is such a hard question to ask because multiple things could be happening. I'll just mention 2 of them. One, if the back of the car is bucking off of something and your throttle position is, say, mid-throttle, not off the gas. If you're off the gas, that can cause it. But if you're mid-throttle, then that usually can be too much. The rebound is too fast, which means the tire compresses, and before it leaves the top of the jump or the whoop, it's extending already. So I would slow the rebound down a little bit, usually cleans up a lot of bucking. The other thing that could be happening, and why we ask for video on this kind of stuff, is it might actually just be too soft on the compression side. So you come in, the tire compresses way too easy, it's bottomed out and then it leaves the ramp of the jump or the whoop while bottomed out, that creates a buck. It actually might be that the compression is just too soft and it blows through it. So 2 options. You can stiffen it up on the compression side, see if it goes away. You can stiffen it up or slow the rebound down a little bit and see if it goes away. Kind of something you have to try, or send us video, we'll tell you. That close?
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Great question.
Yeah.
Justin, the big sign shock therapy behind you, is that paint or is that a wrap?
That is a wrap. So that is like wrap wallpaper in here. And we get busy with that on every place we've got, that's for sure. The company that did that for us is Wolf Designs in Phoenix, and look them up. They do a great job. We've done this shop, we've done the CNC shop, we've done the race shop, we have done the shop in North Carolina. All of our showrooms, works really good. Highly recommended. It is a special material that is used because something I learned while doing that is that the paint and drywall gases off its whole life, meaning it's constantly in a state of farting, and that gas builds up under a normal wrap material and causes bubbles. So you want to have permeated wrap material when you're doing wallpaper. But the right place will tell you that. Mitch.
If you could pick only one car for the rest of time,
Oh,
what would you pick and why?
Does it have to be UTV?
It does not specify, so I guess that's an open question.
so we'll say YXZ. Oh no, sorry. We'll say we'll say UTV.
Ford wagon.
UTV. Right now, my favorite would be a Pro R because it does everything I want. Super plush, big hard terrain is super plush. I don't have enough time in the Maverick R to be in love with that one for life. So right now, UTV, that would be it.
How about cars?
Cars? Somewhere between a 66.7 box Nova with 2,000 horsepower and a fat tire, and a 2019 or 20 CTSV with at least 1,500 horse.
Dang, I thought there was something else in there.
What do you think it was going to be?
Man, the Focus.
The
man.
Focus. Oh, well, all right.
That's a given now.
You said the rest of time. I don't know.
That would withstand
That thing lived longer than a cockroach in a Third World War. That's for sure. I don't know. I had a Ford Focus wagon once that we called the shock rocket when I was running around tuning shocks in the dunes and doing whatever it took, and we couldn't kill that thing, man. That thing, 104 mile an hour on the limiter all day long, 28 miles a gallon. I even threw hydrogen on it for an experiment, right? Remember when we did that? Got 35 for a minute. And
saved a
thought
lot
we
of
were going to
people,
blow
too.
ourselves up.
Saved me.
Yeah,
Saved you.
Everybody got to drive it when their cars broke. That Focus was like live forever until I lent an in-law the car, and it ended up driving into the hitch of a construction truck. And that hitch went through the AC condenser, the front bumper, the grill, the radiator, went into the water pump and the front case of the motor, and then all of a sudden it wasn't even feasible to repair that thing. It went away. We were very sad.
R.I.P.
Yeah, it was awesome. So much for my Focus.
How long for rebuilds to get completed?
Hey, Brandon,
Couple hours.
how long's rebuilds right now on timing?
Couple
Today?
Hours?
I'd say, yeah, today.
Today. There you go.
Bring them in.
Couple hours.
Get her done.
With parts, depending.
Depending on parts. So Brandon's normal speech is if there's stuff that's wrong with them that we don't have parts for, extends the time. But other than that, we can knock it out right away. He's got a team of 3 people over there doing them all day, every day, and they do a great job. Thanks, Brandon.
How often should you service your shocks, Steve?
Ooh, Steve.
Every 2,500 to 3,000 miles.
There you go.
I don't
If
need
you
to
drive harder, do them sooner.
Yeah.
If you drive slower, you can wait a
Yeah.
little longer. Kind of like oil changes.
Yeah.
Nobody ever listens to the oil change thing. They all stretch
Just
that
keep
out.
adding it.
Yeah, thousands of miles longer.
Just keep adding
Oil
it.
comes out like syrup. They don't care.
Yeah.
Same thing with shocks. Get what you don't care about. You guys good? Thinking?
I'm
You
good.
Dom, you got all the questions? Mitch, you got all yours? All right, I think we're going to get out of here. That means that these guys are going to think about the best questions that were on there. We'll be in contact with you. We'll get you shirt size and color. And but if we don't contact you, that means you didn't win, which means think about your questions for next. Throw it out there
Better luck
Thursday.
next time.
Tuesday, Maverick R review. Tune in. It's going to be good. We're going to go through all that stuff. We'll have our car there. You can take a look at it too. all the little details on it. So with that being said, it is now time for Slushmouth Steve to take us out of here with only one side of his mouth.
All right, guys, if you're looking to buy anything we talked about, visit the website, www.shocktherapyusa.com, or call us, 623-217-4959.
Thanks, man.